Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar meets his counterparts from US, Canada, Germany and Argentina. Also meets EU Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell on the sidelines of the Munich conference. Former US President Donald Trump hit with $354 million penalty, 3-year ban in New York civil fraud case. Indian Space Agency ISRO'S GSLV-F14 carrying INSAT 3DS satellite to lift off today at 5:35 p.m. from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota. England will resume at 207 for 2 on day 3 as they eye to continue domination on day 3 of the Rajkot test. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar on Friday began his engagements at Munich Security Conference. On the sidelines, he met European Union's High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Josep Borrell Fontelles. Both the leaders exchanged perspectives on the current global situation. Later in the day, discussions were also held between Dr. S. Jaishankar and his Argentinian counterpart, Diana Mondino. Dr. S. Jaishankar also met Minister for National Defence of Greece, Nikos Dendias, and discussed perspectives on major security challenges facing the world today. A wide range of conversation on global challenges was held between Dr. S. Jaishankar and his German counterpart. Both reviewed preparations for the next meeting of the intergovernmental consultations. Meeting his counterpart on the sidelines of the conference, India's External Affairs Minister met his Canadian counterpart, Melanie Joly, exchanging views on the global situation. On the sidelines, Dr. S. Jaishankar met US Secretary of State Secretary, Antony Blinken, where the two leaders discussed a wide range of topics. Discussions on the situation in West Asia, Ukraine and Indo-Pacific were also held. Both the leaders reviewed the continuing progress in the bilateral ties. Also, they discussed cooperation on maritime security in the Red Sea and the ongoing efforts to secure lasting peace and security in the Middle East. Both Dr. S. Jaishankar and Blinken met on the sidelines of the prestigious Munich Security Conference in its 60th edition, where both participated in a panel discussion on growing the pie, seizing shared opportunities. US President Joe Biden has once again reiterated calls for a temporary ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas conflict to allow release of hostages still held by Hamas. The ceasefire calls followed talks between Biden and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu this week.
Well, first of all, I've had extensive conversations with the Prime Minister of Israel over the last several days, almost an hour each. And I've made the case, and I feel very strongly about it, that there has to be a temporary ceasefire to get the prisoners out, to get the hostages out. And that is underway. I'm still hopeful that that can be done.
Meanwhile, Israeli defense troops continue to operate against Hamas in the Nasser hospital. They uncovered medication with the names of Israeli hostages inside the hospital along with weapons. On receiving a report regarding the failure of electrical systems within the hospital, IDF troops worked to repair the generator while bringing an alternative one. They also supplied food for infants and water to the hospital. Let's get to updates on Russia-Ukraine conflict now. France and Ukraine signed a bilateral security agreement on Friday, including pledges from Paris to deliver more arms, train soldiers and send up to 3 billion euros in military aid to Kyiv this year. The French presidency said France has pledged to provide up to 3 billion euros additional military support to Ukraine in 2024. France also pledged to provide more military equipment, in particular to the air defense. Macron said Russia's aggression towards Europe has entered a new phase with increasing levels of disinformation.
In the framework of this agreement, France has pledged to spend up to 3 billion euros in additional military aid for Ukraine in 2024, following 1.7 billion euros in 2020 and 2.1 billion euros in 2023. France also pledged to continue its support to Ukraine in all aspects, providing military equipment, cooperation among defense industries, with the development of co-production, training, intelligence, civil aid, etc.
Meanwhile, Zelensky said the deal was ambitious and very substantive.
We have prepared and signed an ambitious, very substantive security agreement, and it is very important that there are very specific agreements with these, our partners. We are all together, and this union of the United States, Europe, France, Germany and the United Kingdom, we need this union to defeat the Russian Federation, which came to us with an unprovoked war.
Kyiv troops withdrew from Ukraine's southeastern part of Avdiivka to avoid encirclement amid escalating battle on Saturday. The State Border Guard Service of Ukraine released a video showing fierce fighting in Avdiivka. The withdrawal follows months of fierce Russian attacks and marks the biggest change on the front lines since Moscow troops captured Bakhmut in May 2023. Ukraine said the decision provided no strategic advantage for Russia. The commander of Ukraine's southeastern sector, Alexander Tarnivsky, said that Ukrainian units pulled back with minor losses. In a civil fraud case verdict, a New York court has mandated Donald Trump to pay $354 million. Also, Trump's defense plans to challenge the ruling, and the former president contends that it was prompted by political bias. DD India's William Densler provides more insights from the courthouse in Manhattan.
New York's Attorney General Letitia James was calling for the judge to make Donald Trump pay $370 million in penalties and receive a lifetime ban from operating a business here in the state of New York.
Today, justice has been served. Today, we prove that no one is above the law. No matter how rich, powerful, or politically connected you are, everyone must play by the same rules. We have a responsibility to protect the integrity of the marketplace. And for years, Donald Trump engaged in deceptive business practices and tremendous fraud. Donald Trump falsely, knowingly inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to unjustly enrich himself, his family, and to cheat the system. Donald Trump may have authored the art of the deal, but he perfected the art of the steal.
The Attorney General didn't get that, but she got pretty close, with the judge ordering Donald Trump to pay over $350 million, as well as giving Donald Trump a 3-year ban from operating a business here in his hometown state. It wasn't just Donald Trump himself that was penalised by Judge Arthur Engoron. His adult male children also received penalties. They have been ordered, both Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, to both pay $4 million. They are both to receive a 2-year ban from operating a business in New York each. This, of course, comes just a few weeks after a separate judge in a separate case ordered Donald Trump to pay to the tune of $83 million in a case that he was accused of defaming the writer E. Jean Carroll, after a judge had previously said that he was liable for sexual assault as well. So Donald Trump's legal bills are certainly racking up. This announcement comes in a week where a judge has announced that he will face his first criminal trial in the state on March 25th. That in connection to alleged ties that Donald Trump had paid hush money to a porn star in the lead up to the 2016 presidential election. After the judge's verdict was announced this Friday, Donald Trump's team sent out an email to his supporters saying that this was an undeniable election interference and a witch hunt.
These are corrupt people. These are people that shouldn't be allowed to do the things they do. And they're using this as weaponization against a political opponent who's up a lot in the polls and always will be, because I'm competing with a man who can't put two sentences together, who doesn't know what he's doing.
Interestingly, we also heard in the ruling from the judge himself where he said that the lack of remorse from Donald Trump bordered on the pathological. Donald Trump maintains that he has done nothing wrong, and all of the various cases, be it civil or criminal, he denies wrongdoing, saying that they are all examples of election interference and a product of a weaponized justice system. In New York, William Denslow reporting for DD India.
United States Deputy Secretary of State for Management and Resources Richard Verma will be travelling to India, Maldives and Sri Lanka from February 18 to 23rd. The visit is aimed at strengthening cooperation between the US and each of these Indo-Pacific partners. He will first travel to India, where he is scheduled to meet senior officials and advance shared priorities in increasing economic cooperation and promoting maritime security. A quick look at other stories making it to the headlines from across the world. English singer, songwriter and musician Paul McCartney's stolen Beatles bass guitar was found after 51 years. According to the search team, the bass was stolen from a van in the Notting Hill area of London in October 1972. The photographs show some of the damage to the recovered instrument. Euphoria and the Hunger Games actors appeared on the Berlin Film Festival red carpet to present their latest projects. The Berlinale is considered one of the three major film festivals in the world alongside the Venice and Cannes, and is the largest based on attendance. Around thousands of industry professionals from different countries attended the festival. Pop superstar Taylor Swift donated $100,000 million to the family of the woman slain in a shooting near a rally for the Kansas City Chiefs, where the singer and Travis Kelce were celebrating their Super Bowl victory. Representatives of the singer confirmed that the contributions from Swift were authentic. There was plenty of colour at Mark Fast's London Fashion Week show. Models were bright knits with oversized coats, crochet and dresses, as well as jeans that morphed into denim boots. The vibrant collection, called Galaxy Beyond, featured outfits in fuchsia, orange, purple, blue, chartreuse and black, paired with shiny black boots or silver footwear. Eminent fashion designers of brands like Burberry, Adam and Di Pezza are also on the calendar till February 20th. We're heading for a short break, but still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Indian Air Force gears up for exercise Vayu Shakti 24 in Jaisalmer. Imran Khan's PTI party to hold countrywide protest today against rigging in the polls. Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live and I'm Preeti. Let's continue getting you more international updates. Former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party will be holding peaceful protests across the country today against alleged rigging in the last week's elections and the marginalization of the PTI. PTI leaders rejected reports of Imran Khan softening his stance and agreeing to hold talks with Bilawal Bhutto's Pakistan People's Party. The PTI has also planned to reach out to rivals such as Jamaat Ulema-e-Islam Fazil, Awami National Party, Jamaat-e-Islami and other nationalist parties protesting against alleged rigging in the elections. In a recent post on social media platform X, PTI has called for protest against the unprecedented, massive, brazen rigging in general elections 2024. Meanwhile, the PTI on Friday announced that it will sit in opposition in the centre and Punjab as the political parties make efforts to finalise the process of government formation in Pakistan and the provinces after the general elections. The decision has been taken as per the directives issued by PTI founder Imran Khan, who remains incarcerated in Rawalpindi's Adiala jail. The launch of the GSLV-F14 INSAT 3DS mission is set to take place today at 5:35 p.m. from Sriharikota. The GSLV mission aims at deploying the INSAT 3DS meteorological satellite into the geosynchronous transfer orbit. The satellite's primary objectives are multifaceted and crucial for environment monitoring and safety. It is equipped to monitor Earth's surface and carry out oceanic observations in various spectral channels that are vital for meteorological analysis. Let's take a look at our special report.
ISRO'S 16th GSLV mission on Saturday is aimed at providing the vertical profile of various meteorological parameters of the atmosphere, provide the data collection and data dissemination capabilities from the data collection platforms, and also boast satellite-aided search and rescue services. This geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle, GSLV, is a three-stage 51.7-meter-long launch vehicle having a lift-off mass of 420 tons. The first stage, GS1, comprises a solid propellant S139 motor having 139-ton propellant and 4 earth-storable propellant stages L40 strap-ons, which carry 40 tons of liquid propellant in each. The second stage, GS2, is also an earth-storable propellant stage loaded with 40-ton propellant. The third stage, GS3, is a cryogenic stage with a 15-ton propellant loading of liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen. GSLV-F14 INSAT 3DS mission is funded by the Ministry of Earth Sciences. It is designed for enhanced meteorological observations and monitoring of land and ocean surfaces for weather forecasting and disaster warning. The satellite will augment the meteorological services along with the presently operational INSAT 3D and INSAT 3DR satellites. Indian industries have significantly contributed to the making of the satellite. INSAT 3DS satellite is a follow-on mission of third-generation meteorological satellite from geostationary orbit. Various departments of the Ministry of Earth Sciences, such as the Indian Meteorology Department, National Centre for Medium-Range Weather Forecasting, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, National Institute of Ocean Technology, Indian National Centre for Ocean Information Services, and various other agencies and institutes will be using the INSAT 3DS satellite data to provide improved weather forecast. Aisha Khanam reports for DD India.
Japan's space agency on Saturday launched the second test model of its new flagship rocket H3, almost 1 year after the first failed due to engine ignition trouble. A successful launch of the next generation flagship rocket to follow the pinpoint moon landing of Japan's SLIM, that is the slim spacecraft in fact. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency plans for the H3 to replace the 2-decade-old H2A rocket, hoping that its lower costs and greater payload capacity will help them win launch orders from global clients. The Indian Air Force gears up for the spectacular display of its capabilities with exercise Vayu Shakti 24, scheduled for 17th of February at the Pokhran Air to ground range near India's Jaisalmer. This exercise is the 24th edition of its kind, and it promises to be a riveting showcase of IAF's offensive and defensive prowess. This year, the exercise will witness participation by 121 aircraft, including the indigenous Tejas, Prachand and Dhruv. Indigenous surface-to-air weapon systems Akash and Samar will be demonstrating their capabilities as well. Exercise Vayu Shakti is a demonstration of the IAF's capability to deliver weapons with long range, conventional weapon, accurately highlighting its joint operational capabilities with the Indian Army. India's capital, New Delhi, is hosting the Dry Fruits and Nuts Show Meva India 2024. The event is organized by Akron Nuts and Dry Fruits Council India to change the way one thinks about nuts and dry fruits. More than 200 exhibitors from all over the world are taking part in the event. International traders focusing on the latest trends, innovations and market dynamics in the dry fruits and nuts sector. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya gets us more details.
Right now, I'm at the Yashobhumi where the Meva 2024 is happening, which is organized by NDFCI, which is the Nut and Dry Fruit Council of India.
No, this is a first of its kind nuts and dry fruit show in India, and it's our attempt to bring the fragmented, huge and promising market together, along with all the international participants coming from more than 20 countries.
What kind of participation you have seen? How many countries from outside India have come here?
So it's almost about 20 countries. We have 180 booths. The whole idea was we are with Modi ji's campaign of Make in India. So earlier all of us were going overseas to trade shows, to visit those trade shows, to meet our sellers, our buyers, to do that. That's what we tried. We have made the show Make in India. We have everybody coming in India.
You mentioned $2 billion that can be done, but how do you see all these companies coming down at the same place?
So that's the thing about NDFC, the Nuts and Dried Fruit Council. It's the representative body of the whole nuts and dried fruit industry. So I can proudly say the membership today would be about 90% of the trade, direct trade happening, whether it's importers, processors, resellers, everybody is involved in this association. It's just a 6-month-old association, and we have now close to 750 odd members, and the number is growing every day. That's the whole idea. So you have here in this show every nuts and dried fruit brand that's relevant to the country. They are exhibiting here. I think between the nuts and dried fruit sale, all the booths you see here, they would represent 85% of the branded shelf, 90% or even more of the branded shelves across the country.
So that was NDFCI telling us that they are looking forward to taking Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision forward of making India 100,000 crores. That's their vision, and they want to save the forest reserve at the same time. With camera person Gaurav, this is Tapas Bhattacharya for DD India from Yashobhumi in Dwarka, Delhi.
All right, let's get you sports updates now. Ben Duckett's magnificent 133 has helped England stay level at stumps at the end of day 2 in Rajkot. England brought up 207 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in just 35 overs at the end of day 2 in the third test match. Opener Ben Duckett smashed an 88-ball 100 to lead in England's robust reply to India's first innings total of 445. The opener's 133 not out of 118 balls contained 2 sixes and 21 fours. Earlier in the day, Ravichandran Ashwin became the second Indian bowler after Anil Kumble to claim 500 test wickets. Though visitors trailed by 238 runs in their brisk scoring rate has put India on the back foot. Earlier, debutant Dhruv Jurel and Ashwin mounted a spirited rear guard, while Jasprit Bumrah provided a late cameo to take India near the 450 mark. Mercedes pulled the covers off their latest creation, a sleek, revamped car destined for the departing legend Lewis Hamilton. With the season opener in Bahrain looming on March 2nd, the stage is all set for an electrifying chapter in the ongoing saga of Formula One racing. Take a look at this report.
Last season with the team, I'd love to talk to you about your
Mercedes presented a significantly updated car for 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton ahead of his impending move to Ferrari. Mercedes finished second overall in 2023, but former champions failed to win a race for the first time in 11 years. Red Bull won 21 of the 22 and Max Verstappen taking his third title in a row. On this occasion, Lewis Hamilton said he is excited.
Yeah, well, it's obviously been emotional. It's very surreal to be here, given I came here in 2013, so 11 years with the team, starting my 12th, and it is such a privilege to work with a group of people where you see the work they're doing over winter. We go through this process for the last couple of years. You see a car come together at the beginning of the year. It's the most exciting part of the season, really. It's what you see in everyone's launches.
Seeing how it is.
Hamilton, aged 39, announced this month that he would be leaving at the end of the season after signing a multi-year deal with Ferrari. Team boss Toto Wolff said that once dominant, Mercedes faces a big challenge to get back to the top.
Aston Martin and be at the forward part of that group in the same time as trying to race at the very front. This is our aim. We're determined to do so, and at the same time we know how difficult it is because you're a step behind that your main competitor that has gotten it right straight from the get-go. But we love the challenge, and this is why I'm so eager, and all of us so eager to see the car finally driving.
The W15 car has a silver nose, marking the 90th anniversary of the Mercedes' famed silver arrows, plus the familiar red, green and black of the recent seasons. Hamilton's teammate George Russell said that he just wanted to get behind the wheel to see how it performed.
All right, that's it in this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and also Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.
Welcome to Mahabalipuram, a coastal town full of delight, where history, art and natural beauty unite. Explore this sacred ground, where spirituality and divinity are closely bound. Stroll along the sandy shore, where sunsets leave you wanting for more. Wander through the Panchrathas, monuments of might, carved in stone, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Let the rock-cut caves transport you in time, where legends and myths intertwine. Immerse yourself in culture art, where music and dance captivate every heart. So visit Mahabalipuram. Let its magic unfold, where the ancient stories never grow old. Take in the richness of its hue. Let the spirit leave a lasting impression on you. Welcome to Mahabalipuram. Welcome to Chandigarh.
Swagatam to Andhra Pradesh, the coastal jewel of India. A state steeped in history. From the Gandikota Fort to the majestic Gondapalli Fort. A region known as the Rice Bowl of India. A holy land with rivers Krishna and Godavari flowing through it. Every part of this land tells a story of culture and devotion. And of a modern, developed, vibrant India. The graceful Kuchipudi and exuberant Dhimsa showcase the artistic brilliance of this land. The Ikkat and Kalamkari speak of the talent of artisans and their skilled hands. A cultural concoction that unites people in the spirit of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam.